I got a lot of my friends who run a very, very successful company. We should bring them here and ask them, hey, what made you to be successful? One of the fundamental fear of an Indian is that the moment that they stop coding, that their job is gone. I think we should come out of that. This is true. And when people talk about meltdown, I want to tell you something interesting. I've been in this business, I'm running globally. I got about 4,000 people working for me across the globe. There are people in Brazil, to Pune, to Bangalore, to people in Netherlands, in Amsterdam, and UK. I travel all over. When the first meltdown happened in 2000, I was in Oracle. We were struggling to hold people who were in the last level of their green card. And they were from IIT, and it's like 5 years into the green card. And people were losing jobs. And I don't know how many of you know that people left their cars and bank balances in the Bay Area and left, and suddenly the police started recognizing anybody walking into San Francisco Bay Airport. They'll ask the first question, what's your phone number? So they want to call back and check whether this phone still rings. So that was a kind of a fear. And what happened to that? All that happened is it strengthened India. The jobs multiplied. People recognized here that I need to go for a cheaper but robust technical skills. People told me that, oh, we went for cheaper technology, cheaper labor skills. That's wrong. It's not the cheaper labor skills. If that was the truth, they could have gone to Hungary. Because I ran GE program in Hungary. I know how cheap it is. They could have gone to Kenya. They could have gone to Romania. They didn't go to India because it's cheap labor alone. It's talented labor. Let's admit ourselves. Let's be proud of that. It's talented labor. It's talented people there. So as Ramanujan was pointing out, while we are so successful technically, what made us not to be leaders is fear, number one. And we ourselves underestimate, and we feel sometimes to tell in public, hey, I'm an Indian. Why do you hesitate? That's the question, right? So when the second meltdown happened now, about a year and a half back, has it hurted us? No, the jobs moved back to India. More of our people got jobs, yes. But a lot of our people also started their own company. And they started a company here and a company there. And they took the job in an indirect way. So they become entrepreneurs. So all that I'm saying is, look at the opportunity. Today, if you want to stay as you are for coding, in fact, Srinivas, I know him, he works in IBM, I don't want him to get scared by the fear. But the truth is this, behind the scene, what's going on, is that they think, what can this job be done elsewhere in the world? Not necessarily India. They talk of Brazil, they talk of Russia, they talk of Romania, Bulgaria, Kenya, because we are trying to run from Kenya, South Africa, because they are all English-speaking countries. We have always talked about India is an English-speaking country, that's why we are on an edge, right? But still there are countries outside of India also English-speaking. So people are thinking on that. So we are talking about people in going up the level as architects. Architect job, can it be more? No, you are a customer facing. So if you are a DBA, why not next level? In fact, if some of people are interested, one of the days I can talk about what we do. We are ensuring our people retain higher level jobs, move up the ladder, rather than get stuck with system administration, which can be done anywhere. Network administration, people are logging on, doing configuring routers from all over the world, and think a bit level above. To do that, as he was talking about, is a management skill sets, project management skill set, customer facing skill sets, presentation skill sets, and coordinating. So in a very, very difficult to work in a global environment. I'll tell you a small incident what happened. We are running a big project from France. Today I am an American citizen myself. So when a guy was working for me, he was trying to present and tell about French culture, and he said, no one from America can log on to this. I said, yes, I understand. And he didn't stop there. He said, including you. And my boss at the same time told him, hey, if you ask me to shut up, I couldn't do it because it's a publicly conversation. So people think that the French guy can tell us, say, you can't log on to the boss. So we should be thinking ourselves that how well we can manage these guys. It's extremely difficult to manage globally. If you have ever worked in UK and some of the British people possibly has a passion to think still they rule this country, world, even though Victoria is no longer recognized. In fact, I had a boss who was a British. I had a guy working below me in British. That was in Oracle. And I went through some stimulating exercises, and where my boss came and apologized, because you will go through those kind of a scenario. So all that I'm saying is a global opportunity. You need to play globally. So that's a talent. So as I was talking about management skill set, that's required. That's absolutely required. And he was talking about ECAL. In fact, you know that recently I was also part of a small program under ECAL. And my wife runs Art of Living. We do a lot of work for charity. We support it. Why did we do that? Is that when I look back, one of the days that I attended a program of the Art of Living, and they said that here are the people who came 10,000 miles. What brought you here is your education. If you were not educated, you would have been possibly working in some God forbidden job. Right? So the Art of Living, she was telling that think back and contribute what you can. That prompted us to think, and I'm supporting that, because we always talked about budgets, we always talked about margins, we always talked about technology, our own growth, patents, etc. And now we're talking about cloud, and all of that is fascination, but there are so many people who need our help. So when I heard Ramajan talking, I thought to myself, oh, how well we synchronize in ideologies. Here's a great opportunity as a professionals, ITPIO. We can bring talented people to speak on various subjects as you were studying. We can bring talented people on technology if you are interested in technology. And we can bring people who can talk on management. In fact, I'm my guest speaker at LEAP. We call it a LEAP in IBM. That's leaders from Asia Pacific. We talk to white guys. We are not talking to Indian management. There is a reason. What we do within IBM is white guys travel back to China, travel back to Japan, travel back to India. There was about 15-20 years back, I had observed some of the people will put their leg on top of the table while talking. Basically, it happens more in Bay Area than in the East Coast. Because Bay Area people think that they have a freedom to come in shorts to the Oracle office until somebody told him not get out from it. So the IBM is very smart in that way, because they went and got beaten up in China because they sent some people, they put their leg on top of the table and they said, you showed me shoes, even shoes, so get back home. They were reluctant to talk. Now what they do is they conduct a program. So we go and speak about our culture. You go to India, accept it. Because when we come to America, we accept them, right? So when you go back worldwide, every country has its own religion, its own ethos, and its own ethics. So follow that. But be Roman when you are in Rome. So we go and talk about it. We talk about how well they need to accept it. And it's little difficult for them too, because when they see their own people lose job and moves back to Bangalore, Delhi, they get sometimes panic, natural, but they are being